Over the years, winning has been defined in many ways, such as the first to finish a race or to gain victory. Well, the definitions, however, infer someone will lose. And if you apply the same win-lose mindset to the sales process, you'll end up pushing or trying to persuade your prospects. And push sales creates a situation where your customer develops buyer's remorse, returns the products, or you end up spending more time to satisfy them. The key is to use a win-win mindset to establish a mutually beneficial relationship. And as a supplier of a product or service, you want to satisfy your customers. Why? Because satisfied customers tell other people about your products or services and are repeat customers. Now, to create those win-win relationships, it's important to understand how you and others communicate. And at the heart of that communication is how you are naturally wired. Your wiring has been with you since birth and stays with you your entire lifetime. Unfortunately, most business professionals do nothing to understand it at a level where it changes their results. Yet the beauty of understanding human wiring is that it's part of your nature. And your behaviors, however, are the result of your nurturing environment, those experiences, the culture, your education. It influenced how you behave. So when you understand your natural wiring and notice that wiring in others, you create win-win relationships. And relationship building depends on getting off on the right foot, right? So one of the ways to connect with other people is to be able to quickly recognize how others process thought. And when you know and practice this skill, it creates or increases rather the ability to communicate successfully with others, creating the win-win scenario. Now, everyone talks and everyone thinks. There is, however, a part of your human wiring that will determine how you process thought. And this is critical in every aspect of your business, whether it's sales, client relationships, even employee relationships. And if you're an external thinker, you crystallize your ideas by verbalizing them. So have you ever noticed when talking with someone, you did all of the talking and the other person didn't say a word, but you developed great ideas or solved your problem? Well, that's because you crystallize your ideas by verbalizing them. Conversely, internal thinkers, you crystallize ideas as you internalize or think about them. You often leave a meeting and shortly after the meeting, ideas pop in your head. And you might think to yourself, why didn't I say that at the meeting? Well, how do you make your natural wiring, whether you're an external thinker or internal thinker, work for you? Here's a quick tip. If you're an external thinker, I'm sure there have been times when you're talking to an internal thinker. And how do you know you're talking to an internal thinker? Notice after you make a statement, if the person gives you that blank processing stare. It's just a blank stare. As an external thinker, your natural tendency is to say something to fill in the silent. Instead, stay silent. This gives that internal thinker the silent time to process internally what you just said aloud. And if you don't give them that time, it creates disconnects in the conversation. Now, if you're an internal thinker and you're communicating with an external thinker, notice if they start to repeat themselves. It's important to give the external thinker a response like, I need a minute to think about that, or just a simple or yep. External thinkers are wired to push for a response, while the internal thinkers don't give a response until their internal thought process is complete. So can you see how this one feature in human wiring can impact your sales, your client relationships, even your employee relationships? Now, creating those win-win relationships is rewarding. And when you can deliver communication the way the other person needs to receive it, it's also the highest form of honoring the other person. If you're inspired to become masterful at spotting human wiring in others and learn about your own, join us for our Wired to Win Masterclass coming up. More information on the link below. I'm Lisa Mininni. Until next week, create a great life.